23 people killed in Maiduguri. Tinubu boards a plane to London. National Security Advisor on the plane with him. Defense Minister also in London. The government's response. Some criticism and sheer mischief. Now, the unexpected happened when Kenneth Okonkwo had something to say about that on Channels television, and a lot of people have been dragging him. But let me quickly break this down before you watch the clip. On Monday, March 16th, suicide bombers hit 3 different locations in Maiduguri: a busy market, a hospital gate, a flyover. Now, according to reports, 23 people were killed, over 100 injured. And what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did next was what shocked everyone. Less than 24 hours later, President Tinubu left for the United Kingdom, a state visit to King Charles III at Windsor Castle, the first by a Nigerian leader in 37 years. Now, in his delegation, National Security Advisor, the Senate President, Attorney General, and the Minister of Defense. Now, watch what Kenneth Okonkwo said about this on Channels TV, and let me know if everything he said is justifiable or it was wrong to come from that angle. Take a listen.
First and foremost, the ideology of ADC is rooted in the constitution of ADC. Article 3 of the ADC's constitution is very clear: in pursuit of the welfare of the people and the welfare of the nation. We are a welfarist party, just like by virtue of our constitution. You have just named a demon around here, and you may need to exorcise your studio. Now, what I'm saying is...
Which demon is that? I didn't mention any demon right now.
Oh, well...
Which is the demon are you talking about?
Like I was saying, our party...
I said ADC. Is that the demon?
You said ADC. Yeah. Just mention an angel. So why are you counting the living among the dead?
Which is the dead now?
So as I was saying, Sheung,
are you making reference to APC as the demon?
It's just the corpse. It's just, I'll come to that. But I am talking about the living. And please, don't search for the living among the dead. As I'm talking to you, if you want me to move into that, you have your president who is treading upon the blood of the martyrs in the Northeast, who is treading on the blood of Nigerians that are being killed in the name of red carpet in London. A president who went to London to celebrate, his vice president went to Anambra to celebrate, and he's there with his minister of defense, treading on the blood of the martyrs. Let me tell you, for the death of 6 members of the armed forces of America, Donald Trump went personally to receive their corpses in a dignified transfer of heroes. But here, our martyrs are being killed. The members of the armed forces are being massacred by the incompetence and corruption of APC, who could not provide more boots on the ground, who could not provide them modern equipment to fight. Even the Boko Haram people are using drones. And these people are barely fighting with their hands, no morale. And you have your president who could not suspend his visit to United Kingdom on a state visit, and you know the most caricature thing about it, he went with his Minister of Defense. So 3 most principal people in the security of Nigeria are out when Nigeria is bleeding. And you call that a living party? Honestly, Nigerians will soon begin to be offended to mention that APC. Let me tell you, APC is for the powerful. ADC is for the people. I remember what Rauf Aregbesola Ogbeni said. He said ADC wants to produce a government it owns, not a government it's a possession to. APC has now become a possession to Bola Tinubu that pockets it in his pocket, that nobody can rise up to tell him, Mr. President, you are riding Nigeria to become a corpse.
So are you saying that the president should have cancelled the London trip?
Donald Trump cancelled his trip to China. They just lost 12 men. And they regard it as serious. In a day, 23 men, 108 injured. In a day. And every day we lose men, we lose people. And the job of this president, he's the most traveled president in the world.
Do you think that it is coincidence? What do you make? So the president is planning the trip and the terrorist attack, yes, just about the time when he was preparing to leave the country. Do you think that is coincidence?
How can it be coincidence? Is that the first? We have terrorist attacks every day. From Kwara to Ibadan, to Kogi, to Yobe, to Benue, to Plateau, to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south. Everyday occurrence.
So you wanted the president to cancel that trip and do what exactly?
Sheung, when we talk about dignified transfer of heroes, we are talking about proving to the people that you have human blood running in your vein. It's about telling the world that you prefer to respect the blood of your martyrs, to riding on their blood and dancing on their graves in the United Kingdom. That red carpet there is the blood of the martyrs that Tinubu is treading upon. He should have cancelled it. Cancelled it without equivocation. Why go with your Minister of Defense? Why would the Vice President be celebrating in Anambra State? It is, I can't believe it. I am a lawyer to the army. I feel embarrassed that, oh my goodness me, you don't understand that the death of one military man, it's a hit to a nation because their morale is boosted when you at least recognize. Because as they are going to fight, it can be any of them. So they derive their morale from how you treat the one that is fallen.
Let me ask you, your party is delivering to the world is manifesto. The question is, what differently does your party hope to deliver to Nigeria, to convince Nigerians that your party is a serious party?
Look, first of all, we are not going to embark on defense. We are going on offense in every part of what we're going to do. This lame, incompetent, lying, and corrupt government, the only thing they do is to politicize everything, including security. I was in your station the early days of Tinubu, and I told you that state police will not come, that Tinubu will continue to play the politics of it. And I tell you that Tinubu is incapable of solving the security problems. That's why it is metastasizing all over the nation. He is incapable. Why? You don't have enough boots on the ground. You have a lot of ungoverned spaces. Hunger and hardship is increasing. Suffering of people increasing. They are easy to be recruited. Criminality is not being punished. And Tinubu and his cohorts, they say they talk to the terrorists nicely to release the ones that they have. And you can imagine that more than hundreds of people are kidnapped at a time, and they will release the whole 100 and nothing happened. So I'm sorry to say this, that the government is now part of the criminal gang that is buying and selling Nigerians. So Nigerians are what's the level of slaves in Tinubu's government.
Is that a fair statement to make?
They are, when you pay ransom, what is it? Even if it is by private individuals.
The government says it's not paying ransom.
It is the duty of the government to protect lives and property.
But the government says it's not paying ransom.
Says,
but you have alluded that the government is paying ransom.
Says,
that might be a false
when they say they are
make.
talking to the terrorists nicely, what are they saying?
But it never said they're paying ransom.
They never said they paid ransom. But they will tell you that they released the 100 persons to you.
You are inferring that they paid.
Handsomely.
Without evidence. As a lawyer, you know what that means.
Of course, and you know that in law, there is circumstantial evidence. No terrorist will release a person he risked his life to capture and detain free of charge. As what?
Let me ask you, why should Nigerians look the way of the ADC? And there are a lot of people who will say, in the past government that some of you have heavily criticized,
yes,
you've got a coming together of some of these elements, sitting in one room and wanting to remove Bola Tinubu and the APC. And if these are the same elements of people that you heavily criticize, and now you're coming together with them to say you wanted to remove Bola Tinubu and the APC, is it not hypocritical of some of you who are mouthing these tendencies?
First and foremost, I do not use the word never. And people have already known about that. I wonder what other instruments that you want to use to remove a government in power, if not the power of the people. You are looking at politicians and you are saying these people. And I've always told people, membership of political party is constitutionally free and you cannot stop anybody from coming in. You know, APC tells you a bunch of lies and you believe it over a time. They say strange bedfellows. They were more strange in 2013. As a matter of fact, Buhari didn't want to touch anything Tinubu with a long spoon. So their marriage was simply for power. But we are not organizing people that are strange to each other. We are organizing people that have even worked together, even in the past.
Now, let me give you both sides honestly. The criticism is real and it is coming from everywhere, not just opposition politicians. In fact, a group of Igbo Christian clergymen said, and I will paraphrase, "When Nigerian drowns in blood, Tinubu chose red carpet and photo ops with King Charles." In fact, they said any serious leader would have cancelled the trip and flown to Maiduguri instead. Also, a former APC member, Tim Frank, came out and said the UK visit was insensitive and embarrassing, and Gbadebo Road Survivor said simply, "This president spends a lot of time outside the country. I don't see the value for the average Nigerian." But here's the government's argument. Their information minister Mohammed Idris said the criticism comes from, and I'm quoting, "a lack of adequate knowledge and sheer mischief." They say the UK trip was planned months in advance, that it is the first state visit in 37 years, that it will attract foreign investment and strengthen diplomatic ties, and that a president can manage international visits and domestic security at the same time. Now, that argument is not completely without merit. Leaders actually travel during crisis. That's part of the job. But here's what's hard to explain away. The National Security Advisor was also on that plane, the Minister of Defense, the people whose literal job is to respond to security emergencies were in London. But what shocked everyday most was the government's response to the Maiduguri bombing while all of this was happening, a press conference. So I want to ask you this honest question. Was this trip a mistake given the timing, or is the criticism unfair to a president trying to represent Nigeria? Please drop your honest take in the comments. I want to know what you think about this, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, do well to like this video, share, and make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification for more updates, and I'll see you in my next video.